Hello and welcome to Wisdom Included. I'm Shelley Carney. This is a collaborative gathering place, especially for women, to share personal stories, support, and advice, wisdom included. It's Friday with Friends, and I'm happy to introduce you to my friends, mentors, and fellow entrepreneurs so they can share their stories with us. Today, I'm pleased to introduce CEO of Medical Debt Resolutions, Kathy Ferguson. Kathy, hi. Tell us your story.
Well, I grew up in Albuquerque. I have a brother. My parents are deceased. I've lived here since I was a child, and I have a dear friend that we have been friends since we were 8 years old, and to this day we're still friends. Over 50 years.
And how did you get into your business?
Well, my business, I've got over 25 years experience as medical biller, auditor, collections, and I've been in this field forever. And I used to work my 40 hours a week and volunteering, helping people resolve their medical bills. And at one point, I resolved a balance on a patient, $40,000, and I got it completely written off. And I thought, wow, I must be onto something here. There's such a need. I hear this a lot from people. And I resolve consumers' medical debt. I do a complete audit of their medical bills. And there's always mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes.
Has there been anything in your life where you've had medical bills or somebody in your family that you had to resolve anything like that?
Yes. When I very first started, my family's in California, and a family member's, my cousin's husband's sister was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, and I never even heard that word before. I didn't even know what it was. And he had said, you know, she's got great insurance, and I keep getting all these bills. And the insurance company is denying them. And I'm like, do they give a reason? And he said, they can't, they just say pay it. And the bills are piling up. And I said, well, let me look. And Huntington disease is deterioration of the brain. And she was seeing a neurologist that the medical bills were all being denied. And the biller in the neurologist's office was billing for mental illness. And this is a disease of the brain. So it took me many hours, and I found the correct code. And I said, correct your coding and resubmit the bills. And they were all paid.
So it was just like a clerical error.
Yeah, it's all human error. Pretty much, it's human error. I've seen a lot. I finished a client whose wife had passed away of cancer, and after she passes, he gets a bill for $43,000. And he's like, I buried my wife, now I've got to lose my home? And I'm like, no, it won't happen. And the insurance company gave me a hard time. And I went to the healthcare provider and I said, I need an audit. From the day she was diagnosed till the day she was paid. And then he calls and says, I got a bill for $600. What did you do? And it was coding error.
That's crazy.
Again.
Is that something that, as a consumer or a person with a medical bill, that we ourselves can take care of, or do we need to seek out that help from somebody like you?
I am the expert. This is my background. It's a lot. It's very time-consuming. I know the terminology, the transition, the process, but I do educate. I educate the consumers on no surprise medical bills. You know, I tell them when you go to your office visits, ask for a copy of the itemized bill before you leave. That way, when you get the explanation of benefits from your health insurance company, match the two. How off are they? What's on that bill? What are you being charged for? Does everything look good to you? And if you're referred to another healthcare provider, lab, x-ray, whatever the case may be, right then and there in that office, call your health insurance company and ask, is this in network or out of network? And what is my cost? Prevent the mistakes.
Right.
Do your own education. And I, have clients do their homework. So
how can somebody like me learn this before a disaster strikes?
Well, that's why I'm here. It's a time-consuming, it's frustrating, it's a lot of hard work. And there's so many different situations. It's not a black and white at all. There are just so many different situations. I've cleared up medical debt where people have been able to buy their first home. Their credit report was cleaned because of the mistakes. And it's the mistakes that are made from the provider, and I audit the health insurance companies because they're the ones that pay the bills.
As a small business owner,
Yes.
what can you give as advice to other people who are looking at taking something like a job that you had and turning it into your own business? What was the process of that?
Well, I'm very passionate and caring about people, and I hear healthcare issues always. And there's a lot of people that think about, I'd like to start a small business, but Albuquerque has so much to offer and is so helpful. There's so many organizations around the city and the state, that help these people, give you valuable information, will help a lot in a lot of different aspects.
Is that something that you did? Did you look for training to become a business owner?
I took some classes at West Enterprise Center. That was my big thing, and West is great. And I have a couple of years ago, I won Small Business Award, City of Albuquerque Small Business Award.
Terrific.
And it's great. And it's not all bells and whistles, being a business owner. It's a lot of hard work. It is, and there's a lot to it, but it's so well worth it, especially when you have something to give to someone.
What do you find is the most difficult part for you of running a business?
Well, I'm not so well with social media and impatient with learning it. And so the growth has been kind of slow with medical debt resolutions. But there's a lot out there. There is a lot. I just need to get the help.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
this should help a little bit today, getting the word out there so that people know that your business exists and that there is help for them when they're suffering from medical debt.
Yes, it's a huge financial burden, and there's over 65% bankruptcies are medical debt. And that's across the country. And I do this across the country. And I would like to work with companies that have the employee benefit programs to be part of that. And that would save the employees, not paying bills that they shouldn't even be paying for. People say, I got a bill, I guess I got to pay it.
Right.
And with the medical, that's just not always true. There's a lot of errors. The health insurance companies in town, I go directly to them, and I work well with all of them. And they just need to be aware of some things that they didn't catch before. And it's human error. We make mistakes.
So are there any life lessons that you've learned in working in this industry that you can share with us?
I work with a lot of different people. I do volunteer work. There's lots of networking groups out here that you can learn a lot of things from. There's so much out there. Just be involved in the community. I volunteer with Beds for Kids, and founder is Steve Stucker. And big, it has turned into a big organization. We put people in beds for free. And this is going on over a little over 2 years, and he's put 3,000 people in beds that sleep on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, so I give the sheets, blankets, and pillows for that. And so it's just all networking, communicating, get out there.
Right.
Get out there and share your story. There's always people that will ask questions and help them. I always will answer questions.
Okay. Well,
yes.
What are you currently working on? Anything coming up for you project-wise?
Well, I have some financial organizations that are interested in medical debt resolutions, and I am hoping to be on board with them nationally across the country.
Great.
And because this medical debt is a big, serious issue.
It is.
It hits just about everyone's pocketbook, and it needs to be fixed.
That's right. That's right. And so how can people learn more about you, medical debt resolutions, and find you on social media?
I have a video on YouTube, and I have on Facebook, Medical Debt. My email address is fixmymedicaldebt.com.
Okay, and that will be in the description box below. So if they want to contact you, Kathy, then they'll find that there.
Yes. At the moment, I don't have a website. I had it shut down. I'm having a new one put together. So there's not a website at this time. But please contact me because I can help.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today, Kathy.
Thank you for the
offering
invite.
Offering hope to people who are just struggling under that debt.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. And for Wisdom Included, I'm Shelley Carney. Leave a comment below if you had a medical billing issue or if you built a business to help people resolve their debt, and tell me your story. If this is your first time here, please take a moment to subscribe. I'll continue to post new videos several times each week featuring personal stories, support, and advice, wisdom included.